Hello everyone. I'm going to talk about something that silently takes more lives every year than almost any other illness. It's heart disease. Your heart has been with you since the very first moment of your life. It beats more than 100,000 times a day, without rest, without asking for recognition, without ever stopping to take a break. It works quietly, keeping you alive while you sleep, walk, think, and dream. But as the years go by, most people stop paying attention to it. We start to notice that we get tired more easily, breathe a little harder, and recover a little slower. We tell ourselves it's normal. We say, it's just age. But what if it's not? What if those small changes are your heart trying to speak to you? Your heart rarely fails suddenly. Long before a heart attack, long before chest pain, it gives you warnings. The problem is, most people don't recognize them. They ignore the whispers until they become screams. Today, I'll help you understand the 5 early signs of heart disease you should never ignore, especially after 60. These are not random symptoms. They are your body's language, and it is trying to tell you something before it's too late. The first sign: shortness of breath during simple activities. Think about your daily routine. Do you feel more out of breath than before when walking upstairs or carrying groceries? Do you need to rest halfway through activities that used to be easy for you? That is not just aging. That can be your heart struggling to keep up. When the heart becomes weak, it can't pump enough oxygen to your body. Your lungs start to work harder to make up for it, but no matter how deeply you breathe, you still feel like you're not getting enough air. It feels like trying to breathe through a small straw. A man once told me that he could no longer sing with his grandchildren because he ran out of breath too quickly. He thought it was just getting old, but when we checked, his heart's pumping capacity had already dropped by 30%. His breathlessness was not age, it was a warning. If you notice that you're breathing harder during light activity or even while resting, your body is not lying to you. It is sending a signal that something is wrong with your circulation. This is especially true if it happens at night, while lying flat. Many people with early heart disease feel short of breath when they try to sleep. They need extra pillows or have to sit up to breathe comfortably. If that sounds familiar, please don't ignore it. Your body is not weak. It's trying to protect you. The second sign: swelling in feet, ankles, or legs. Have you ever noticed that your feet look puffy at night or that your socks leave deep marks? Many people assume this is because of too much salt or standing all day. But when the swelling happens often or in both legs, it can be a serious early sign of heart failure. Here's what happens. When your heart can't pump blood efficiently, pressure builds up in your veins. Fluid leaks out of your blood vessels and settles in the lower parts of your body. That's why your legs, ankles, and feet swell up by evening. A woman in her 70s came to see me once and said, "My shoes don't fit by the end of the day." I thought I was just gaining weight, but her heart was struggling to push blood upward against gravity. She wasn't gaining fat, she was retaining fluid. If pressing your finger into your ankle leaves a dent for a few seconds, that's called pitting edema. It's your body's quiet alarm that your heart is not keeping pace. Swelling may seem harmless, but it means your circulation is slowing down. Over time, that extra fluid can affect your lungs and make it even harder to breathe. So when you notice swelling every evening, don't just take off your shoes and forget about it. Your body is whispering. Please, listen. The third sign: unusual fatigue or weakness. There's a kind of tiredness that sleep can't fix. You wake up exhausted. You go about your day, but every little task feels heavier than before. That is not just age or laziness. That is your heart telling you it is working too hard. When your heart is weak, less oxygen reaches your muscles and brain. Your body runs on low power all day long. You might start skipping walks or avoiding stairs, not because you want to, but because your body simply can't keep up. One man told me, "I used to love gardening, but now I can only dig for 5 minutes before I have to sit." He thought he was out of shape, but his heart's blood flow was low, and his body was begging him to slow down. Another woman said, "I don't feel sick, but I just don't have any energy." That is one of the most dangerous phrases a doctor can hear. It often means that your heart is silently struggling, long before pain or breathlessness appear. If your energy feels drained all the time, even after sleeping or eating well, that's not normal. It's your heart's way of saying, "I need help." This kind of fatigue is often worse in the afternoon or after meals, when your body is trying to digest food and circulate blood at the same time. If you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak when standing up, that's another sign your heart may not be keeping up with your body's needs. Listen to that tiredness. It has meaning. The fourth sign: chest pressure or discomfort. People often imagine heart problems as sudden, stabbing pain. But in reality, the early signs are much quieter and easier to ignore. Chest discomfort from heart disease feels different for everyone. Some describe it as tightness, others as heaviness or burning. It might come and go, and you might think it's just indigestion. You may feel it in your shoulders, arms, neck, jaw, or even your back. That is because the heart shares nerve pathways with those areas, so your brain sometimes confuses where the discomfort comes from. One man told me, "It felt like someone was squeezing my chest with both hands." He thought it was stress from work, but it was his heart struggling to get oxygen. This type of discomfort is called angina, and it happens when your heart muscle doesn't get enough blood flow. At first, it only happens during activity. Later, it might happen even when resting. If you ever feel chest pressure that lasts for more than a few minutes, or that keeps returning, don't wait to see if it goes away. That's not something you can afford to ignore. Your heart is sending a message that the clock is ticking. The fifth sign: irregular heartbeat or fluttering sensation. Have you ever felt your heart suddenly skip a beat, race, or flutter for no reason? That fluttering feeling in your chest might seem harmless, but it can be one of the first signs of arrhythmia. Arrhythmia happens when the electrical system that controls your heartbeat becomes unstable. It can make your pulse too fast, too slow, or uneven. Sometimes it feels like your heart is bouncing in your chest. A woman once said, "I can feel my heart beating in my throat when I lie down." At first, she ignored it, thinking it was anxiety. But a few months later, she fainted because her heartbeat dropped suddenly. Irregular heartbeats can lead to blood clots, strokes, or sudden cardiac arrest if untreated. That is why it's so important to take them seriously, especially if they come with dizziness, shortness of breath, or chest pressure. If you ever feel like your heart is out of rhythm, don't try to explain it away. Write down when it happens, how it feels, and how long it lasts. Bring that information to your doctor. It could save your life. What you should do if you notice these signs. If you recognize any of these 5 warning signs, don't panic, but don't ignore them either. Heart disease develops slowly, often over decades, and early treatment can make all the difference. Start with a visit to your doctor. Ask for an ECG to check your heart rhythm, an echocardiogram to see how well your heart pumps, and a blood test for cholesterol and inflammation. These tests are simple, painless, and could prevent something far worse later. And while medical care is important, your daily choices matter just as much. Every meal, every walk, every hour of rest builds or weakens your heart. How to protect your heart after 60. Move your body every day. Even gentle walking for 20 minutes improves blood circulation and strengthens your heart muscle. Eat real food. Choose fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Avoid processed foods that are full of sugar and salt. Manage your stress. Chronic stress keeps your blood pressure high and wears out your arteries. Deep breathing, nature walks, or prayer can calm your heart. Sleep deeply. Your heart repairs itself while you rest. Aim for at least 7 hours of quality sleep. Avoid smoking and limit alcohol. These are 2 of the most powerful ways to prevent heart disease. Get regular checkups. Even if you feel fine, your body might be hiding signs you can't feel yet. Small habits may not seem like much today, but they build the foundation for your future. Your heart doesn't need perfection, it needs consistency. Final message: your heart is the quiet hero of your life. It has never stopped working for you, not once. It beats for your dreams, your family, your memories, and your future. But when it starts to struggle, it doesn't shout. It whispers, softly but clearly, through shortness of breath, fatigue, swelling, or irregular rhythm. Those whispers are not weakness. They are warnings. Do not wait for pain to tell you something is wrong. By the time pain arrives, your heart has already been fighting alone for too long. If you start paying attention today, you can change tomorrow. Eat wisely, move with care, rest with peace, and listen to what your body is telling you. Your heart has always been loyal to you. Be loyal to it in return. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay strong, and always remember to listen before it's too late.